Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. The commander of the San Andres Police Department announced that a reward will be offered to anyone who provides timely information on the young man who died in the Dopigoli sector.
A young man identified as Bob Pardo died Saturday in strained condition from a bullet wound to the head. The commander of the police department regret the facts.
El Comando Departamento de Policía San Andrés Providencia.
The command of the Police Department of San Andres, Old Providence and Santa Catalina regrets to inform that on Saturday night there was a homicide exactly in the sector of Dopigoli, where inside a residence there were some young people and this fact occurred. The respective investigations are being carried out and the inspection of the place of the facts to establish who are responsible for this homicide. It is very important to make a special call to the community that just as in other opportunities has been positively contributing information that has allowed us to clarify some tragic events where homicides have occurred, in the same way we ask those who want to provide us with timely information to establish the reality of the facts. And of course, for this case, we are giving a reward for this information.
On the other hand, on the same Saturday night, there was also an attack in the sector of the Cove against the owner of a store in that sector. However, the authorities have not yet provided official information on this fact. According to unofficial information, the person in question was shot in the abdomen.
And during the weekend, there are two accidents where two people were injured and a 90-year-old young man lost his life. The National Police, after these events, make a call to protect human life by avoiding driving at high speeds on the roads of the department.
Roosevelt Martinez, 19 years old, was identified as a young man of resident of the San Luis sector who was lost his life in road accident at about 7 p.m. last night in the Zone B sector. Within minutes of the accident, the ambulance arrived at the scene to transport the young man as well as an injured citizen who apparently had a fractured leg and left arm. Sadly, the young man lost his life. Also on Friday, December 3rd, an accident occurred in the Ring Road involving the collision of a car and a motorcycle in which a woman was seriously injured. The details of the accidents are unknown, as is the state of the health of the injured and the cause of the death of the young man. The National Police sent an awareness message to the community.
And yesterday, the voting for the members of the municipal and local council took place.
The first election of the municipal and local youth councils in San Andres, Providence, and Catalina took place under normal conditions and under strict biosecurity protocols, where a total of 13,283 young people between the ages of 14 and 28 were eligible to vote. However, according to data provided by the Register Office, only 1,827 people went to the polls, which corresponds to 13.75% of the total number of those eligible to vote. Of these, 1,390 votes were valid and 400 were invalid. The Register Office report also provides information on the vote by list, which was divided as follows. Partido Conservador obtained 582 votes. Partido Cambio Radical obtained 448 votes. Partido Liberal 179 votes. One Risal Corporation 131 votes, and Coalición Junta Acción Comunal Nataña 50 votes. Yesterday, during the inauguration of the elections, the departmental delegate for the registry gave some words about the importance of these elections that the 13 members of the Municipal Youth Council on the island.
Primero que todo, una invitación muy especial.
A very special invitation to all young people in the Department of San Andres. We invite you to participate to elect those who have registered, and we are already opening these elections in which young people will choose the people who will represent them for the management of public policies and the development of plans and programs that go in favor of youth and the country.
It is important to emphasize that in general throughout the country there was a low turnout at the polls this Sunday, since less than 15% of the young people between 14 and 28 years of age eligible to participate in the new elections exercised their right to vote.
And there was a low voter turnout at the Polo Democrático elections over the weekend in San Andres.
2 days months after the Interparty elections at the Polo Democrático, the definitive results are still not shown in the web portal of the National Registrar's Office. In the meantime, there has been no pronouncement from the delegate in the island. For its part, the Polo Democrático Alternativo Party informed through a press release that the report of the voting results will be released once the National Registrar's Office delivers the scrutinies and the National Electoral and Guarantee Commission of the Polo Democrático Alternativo carries out the procedure indicated by law and the statutes to establish who have been elected delegates to the 5th Congress. In the specific case of San Andres, a low voter turnout was evidenced during the day. According to Teleislas News, only 28 voters exercised their right to vote in the island.
And in order to prevent the increase of coastal erosion in different parts of the island, the Carolina Corporation met with Dutch experts to establish mitigation strategies for this problem.
The Carolina Environmental Corporation met with experts in coastal erosion from the Netherlands with the purpose of defining the field studies to be used in the department in order to outline intervention strategies in the most critical erosion sites on the island.
El gobierno de Holanda ha mandado representantes que hemos.
The government of Holland has sent representatives. We have visited the two islands together. We have shown them the specific problems in various sectors of the island. They have compiled all the previous information that we have had in recent years with their experiences. With their experience, they are showing us at the moment several alternative solutions to various specific erosive processes. For example, for the Sprat Bite Beach, San Luis, and also for Old Providence, the results so far are quite positive. Here there are several alternatives that the experts are showing us, which include reinforcing some issues of coral reefs to prevent the energy of the waves to arrive with more intensity on the coast and therefore increase erosion problems.
The corporation specifies that the intervention work in coastal areas will be carried out gently with reforestation works of native species on the beaches of the island and other strategies that the corporation has for the rescue of the seaside resort.
And here is a report of new COVID-19 infections detected for the department during the weekend.
62 new cases were added to the departmental figure, leaving a total of 8,184 infections recorded in the department since the pandemic began. The COVID cases during the weekend were as follows. On Friday, December 3rd, 24 new cases. On Saturday, December 4th, 26 new cases. And finally, on Sunday, December 5th, 12 cases were reported for the department, which add up as 62 positive cases for coronavirus during the weekend. Fortunately, the islands were not part of the list of cities with deaths due to COVID-19, and the overall number has been decreasing as in the interior of the country. The community should be reminded of the importance of complying with biosecurity protocols and keeping their distance, since the Delta variant is the dominant one in the insular territory. This variant has a great spread capacity than other variants. It is also important to highlight that vaccination is the best option to avoid fatal cases. To date, 100,337 vaccines have been applied in the archipelago.
Colonels of the National Police were selected for the strategic course on public security. Among them is the former commander of the department, Colonel Jorge Antonio Urquijo Sandoval.
The former police commander of the archipelago, Colonel Jorge Antonio Urquijo Sandoval, is one of the 12 colonels chosen to continue strengthening their leadership and experience as part of the integral transformation process in the institution. 12 colonels of the National Police have been selected to take the strategic public security course, a requirement to achieve the rank of Brigadier General of the institution. The decision was made after the culmination of the evaluation process of the professional trajectory of 42 officers that took place at the General Director and Police Cadet School, General Francisco de Paula Santander in Bogotá. The Corps of the General at the National Police recommend to the Advisory Board of the Ministry of Defense, chaired by the Minister of National Defense, Dr. Diego Molano Aponte, the list of names at the Colonel to advance the regulatory course for promotion. With the endorsement of the national government, the determination was based on the legal parameters of career, performance, contribution to the institutional mission, and the professional projection of the group of officers evaluated.
And now let's learn about other facts that are making news today in our brief news sections.
Officers of the National Police conducted in the department an awareness campaign aimed at drivers of vehicles, motorcycles, and pedestrians, where they are invited to drive responsibly, abide by traffic signs, and the National Police seeks to raise awareness among citizens who daily have the responsibility to drive a car, remembering that irresponsibility places the lives of others as well as their own integrity at risk. The Secretariat of Tourism held a socialization meeting with the various tourism operators at the Blowing Hole. The purpose of this activity was to evaluate progress and implement strategies aimed at the constant improvement of this tourist attraction, as well as the quality of life of the residents of the place and the experience of its visitors. The pedagogical group of the Secretariat of Mobility delivered biosafety kits to public transportation service providers, as well as through tax and disinfection activities of their vehicles were explained to them about the personal self-care and protection measures that should be taken into account when providing service to the community.
Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, December 6th, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is partly cloudy. Temperature is 29 degrees Celsius with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 27 km per hour. Humidity forecast is of 78% and probability of precipitation is of 20%.